Hello students, welcome to the class. So in this class we are going to study about electroporation. So electroporation is a method of gene transfer. It falls under the direct method of gene transfer or vectorless method of gene transfer. Now in my previous class we have studied about cloning vector. So, giving you an introduction or a brief about the topic before going into electroporation, gene transfer. Since electroporation, this method is included under gene transfer direct method. So, we should know what gene transfer is. So, in my earlier classes, I have discussed about the different methods of gene transfer and what is gene transfer. So, just giving you a recap. Gene transfer is a technique to efficiently and stably introduce the foreign gene of interest into the genome of target cells or transferring a gene into a non-native organism. So whenever you transfer your target gene of interest from one organism to the other, then that process of transferring is known as gene transfer. And scientifically, it is known as transgenesis. Now, the plant or the animal that is being transformed is known as a transgenic organism or a genetically modified organism. Now, there are various methods of gene transfer. One is the direct or the vectorless gene transfer method. Under direct or vectorless gene transfer method, we will be discussing, or we have discussed, I have discussed about particle gun method, microinjection methods. In this class, I'll be discussing about electroporation. And there is another method which is your indirect or vector mediated gene transfer method. So in indirect or vector mediated gene transfer method, we are having Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So Agrobacterium tumefaciens is a gram-negative soil bacterium and it causes crown gall disease in plants. Now, crown gall disease is like a tumor disease. It forms gall or a tumor in plants. Now, since this tumor is not beneficial, so what we do, Agrobacterium tumefaciens, this bacteria is having a plasmid inside it, the Ti plasmid. Now, this Ti plasmid is tumor-inducing plasmid. This Ti plasmid is having a tDNA region, and this tDNA region is transferred into the plant cell. Due to when there is a wound in plant, then what happened? Then the wounded parts they release acetosyringeol, and this Ti plasmids tDNA they get transferred due to the secretion of this acetosyringeol. Now, when this tDNA gets transferred, then what it does, it forms tumor in the plant cell. Now that is not a good thing. So what scientists thought that if we can introduce our target gene of interest into this tDNA region, then the target gene of interest will be transferred from the Ti plasmid tDNA into the plant cell. Then what will happen? That our gene of interest will express in the plant cell and tumor will be only formed, but that will be a beneficial tumor. And from there, we can extract our gene of interest, the proteins, we can extract it, we can purify it, and we can use it. So this is the application of biotechnology that scientists are doing. So now let's start with my topic for the class, that is electroporation. Name only says something. That is electro means we are using currents or electricity or electrical pulses or voltage, and poration means pores are created. Now where are the pores created? How are the pores created? By the gene transfer method that we are going to study in this class. So now let's start with the topic. So direct method of gene transfer by electroporation. What is the other name of electroporation? Electropermeabilization. is a physical method of introducing genetic material, proteins, drugs, or other desired molecules into cells for various purposes with the application of electrical pulses to create temporary pores in the cell membrane delivering the molecules to the cell. So, what it says that it is a physical method of introducing the gene of interest into the target cell or the host cell. Now, not only genetic materials means DNA or RNA are introduced depending upon our usage, but also proteins and drugs or any other desired molecules can be introduced. Yes, it should be compatible. It's not that only if you introduce it, then only the cell will get transformed, but definitely, yeah, compatibility factor comes here. So while transferring, if it is compatible, then definitely your gene transfer will be successful. Newman et al. First introduced the concept of electroporation in 1982. The working principle of electroporation involves applying electric pulses to cells. Now, when you supply electricity or electric pulses or voltage to the cells, then what happens? It creates temporary pores in the cell membrane. Now, we know plant cell is having cell wall and then comes the cell membrane. So in electroporation method, we go for the protoplast method where we remove the cell wall and we take the plant without the cell wall, means the protoplast. Then we introduce the gene of interest. How? By applying electricity. So when you apply electricity, what will happen? Temporary pores will be created in the cell membrane, which I'll show in a while with the help of a diagram. So this pores allows the entry of the molecules such as DNA or protein or your target drugs or any other desired molecule into the cells. Once the electric pulse is turned off, the pores start to close and the cell returns to its normal state. Now, some of the molecules taken up by the cell are trapped inside as the membrane recedes. If the electric field allows the membrane defects to reseal, it is reversible electroporation, while if the defect persists, it is irreversible electroporation, leading to cell death. So, what we get to understand from here is that once you turn on the electricity, then what will happen? Due to this electric pulses, some pores will be created in the cell membrane, and it means with the help of this pores, the DNA or your target molecule will enter. Now, once you close the or you turn off the electric pulse, then what will happen? The pores will start to reseal and regain to its original state. During that process, whatsoever has entered via the pores will enter and it will get trapped and the membrane will reseal. Now, if the membrane reseals after the electric pulse is turned off, then that is known as reversible electroporation. But if the defect is not resealed and if the pores are still open, then that is irreversible electroporation, and this leads to cell death. Now let's understand this with the help of diagram. So suppose this is the plasma membrane of a cell, means of a plant cell. Now these are the recombinant DNA, okay, the DNA molecule, your target DNA molecule. Till now, so far, we have not applied any electric field. Now suppose we have applied electric field. Now apply the electric pulse, then what will happen after application of electric field? Now the target molecule will start entering plus, minus are the electric field, and the round things, the molecules have start entering. Now after it has entered, once you switch the pulse off, then what will happen? The membrane will start to reseal and whatsoever has entered will be inside the cell and it will incorporate with the plant's nucleus, means with the plant genome. It will try to integrate. And if it is a successful integration, then this cell will be a transformed cell. Now, if the membrane does not reseal and still there are pores, then that after your electricity is turned off, then that cell will die. Okay. Now, this diagram will help in a better understanding. Suppose these are the electrodes, plus and minus electrodes are supplied, and this is the plant cell, this is the nucleus, this is the cell membrane. So what will happen? Suppose under the influence of electric field, the molecules have entered, some of the molecules have entered. In this diagram, see, this is the cell membrane, these are the lipid bilayers. Okay, so what will happen, these are the recombinant DNA which has not yet entered. Now once you switch on the electric field, then what will happen, pores are created and then they will start entering. Now in this side, these are the entered recombinant particles, and these are that were not entered. Now in E state, what will happen here? Now the electric field is turned off. So the membrane reseals, and whatsoever has entered, they are here. And they will try to integrate with the plant genome or with the host genome. Now this is the graph showing that when there is intact, there is no change. Then once the electric field is turned on, then what will happen? DNA will start to enter. So the threshold of voltage will be more. So the when it will be more, when the electroporation pores are created. Then when will the membrane be resealed? When the threshold is less. So this shows the graph of the threshold of voltage with time. When the cell is intact, no voltage. When it is resealed, no voltage. When there is pores are created, when there is poration, high voltage. So this was all for the class, for this class. So one more is left. Okay, so that's application. So this is important. Yeah, uh, electroporation is widely used in genetic engineering to introduce foreign DNA into cells. So for example, it is used for the transformation of plant cell, allowing the introduction of foreign DNA into plants for crop improvement. Not only for crop improvement, you can also use this for delivering drugs and vaccines, like DNA vaccines against various diseases like plagues and SARS-CoV-2 have also been developed using electroporation as a delivery method. Now, electroporation is also used in gene therapy to deliver the modified or the additional genetic material. Then irreversible electroporation is used in the treatment of cancer. This method applies high voltage electric pulses to cause permanent damage and cell death in the tumor region. So these are some of the application, and this method of gene transfer electroporation, it is having wide application in the field of biotechnology. So hope you all have understood from this video. So thank you.